All right. Welcome back to Actually, you know what? Guess who's back?
It's me.
It's Mel. Mel is back. And I think we have the audio thing maybe figured out now, where we're actually trying to record on one microphone now.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes.
Until we get a second one.
So we're a lot closer.
Ooh.
I can like hold her hand.
Oh my god.
We're holding hands.
Oh my god. Literally also holding hands in that moment. So we have a pretty interesting episode for you guys today, and I'm really excited for it. And
dare I say more structured?
Definitely more.
Well, we also are a half bottle of wine in. So
yeah,
maybe
we're
structured as can be in the situation.
Yeah, I know this episode's not going to release for a few weeks, but we just had our Discord launch party where we got to hang out with people and we got to talk about stuff, and it's so fun. Always, I love socializing with people,
yeah.
And I just love hearing perspectives from everyone. But yeah, it was a lot of fun, and I'm glad that we did it. And yeah, we definitely got our fill of wine, which is what I wanted before we have these chats. Because I feel like our best, and I said that in the call too, where I was like, I feel like our best conversations always come from
at least
half a bottle,
at least a half, yeah, at least a half bottle,
or like at least a Corona Rita or
right,
something, and then
right.
we have our best conversations and everything. But this time we had the idea of coming up with a few different things, and we'll get into that after our first segment, which is what made you cry this week.
Oh no,
I hate crying. No, sometimes crying is the best.
It feels good sometimes.
It does.
Yeah.
I only have two things for me this week, but Mel, I wanted to ask you, what made you cry this week?
Let's go back and forth because I have two also.
Okay, so you can go first.
The first one I feel like is maybe the more, I mean, it depends on your outlook. The more silly of the two. First of all, I just entered my luteal phase, so we'll just put that at the forefront of this. But I wanted to watch Monsters, Inc. with Evie. Not that she's really paying attention to full-length feature films. She's only 1.5. But for Halloween, we're dressing up as, she's going to be Boo. And it's going to be the cutest thing ever.
She's going to be so cute.
The reason we thought of that is because when we went to Disney back in February, all of the cast members, which is what they call the people that work at Disney, commented on how she looked like Boo. And I was like, okay, well, that's
because she has the dark features.
Yeah, dark hair, and she's like a little cutie with big eyes.
Yeah.
So, and she was wearing pigtails, which I think is part of it.
Which is so cute. I love her pigtails.
But, so she's going to be Boo, and I'm going to be Mike Wazowski.
Sure. Because you resemble Mike Wazowski.
Yeah, I'm squat, and I have one big eye.
And green, right.
I'm also green. And then Roy's gonna be Sully because he's a big furry man,
giant man. Yeah.
But so I wanted to watch it with her, and at the end of that movie, I don't know if you remember. It's been probably a long time since
I haven't seen that movie, dude, in so long, and honestly, I don't even know if I ever finished it.
Oh, you need to watch it. It's really cute. Especially, I feel like I don't know why, but I feel like I've gotten to the point now, and maybe because I'm a little bit of a Disney adult, but Disney movies like resonate with me more than they did when I was a kid.
Sure.
In some ways, because you get the emotional aspect of them. Like when you're a kid, you're like, oh, fun, colors and like cool characters and whatever. But when you're an adult, you get more of the jokes. You get more of the emotion behind everything. But the end of Monsters, Inc., so the little girl has to go back to the human world, and the monsters that like run the place say like, well, you can't see her again because it's just too much of a threat to the monster world and the human world to like,
oh my god,
whatever. So he is like putting her to bed, and he's like, well, I love, like, it was great, hanging out with you. I don't remember exactly what he says, but he's like, it's time for you to go home. Like, I won't see you. I forget what he says.
No,
but
because I'm already dying.
Yeah. So
I'm already sick.
So the way they go into the world is they go through like closet doors, and that's like the way they get it out of the human world. Yeah. So he's like, okay, bye, Boo. I'll miss you or whatever. He closes the door, and then she gets out of bed. She's like a 3-year-old or something, and she's the cutest little thing. And she goes to open, and her thing, like why they called her Boo was because she goes, Boo! And she like jumps out and scares everyone. So she opens the door, goes, Boo! And then he's not there. It's just the closet. And then she goes, Kitty? Because that's what she called him. And and he wasn't there. And she's like, Kitty?
Bye. I'm sobbing.
Oh my God. It was.
I'm tearing, dude. I don't think I've ever finished that movie.
It's good.
Oh my God. I'm already like literally crying.
Well, spoiler, it has like a happy ending. So
I figured as much.
Yeah, don't get too sad. But yeah, I was like holding back sobbing in front of my little 1.5-year-old because I'm like, she doesn't need to see me being emotionally distraught.
Oh my God, but how cute, because she literally looks so much like Boo.
Yeah.
Because she's got the big brown eyes. Like, oh my God, she's so
And she
cute.
also goes, Boo! Because she loves ghosts. Like every time I have like a couple Halloween decorations up, every time she sees a ghost, she's like, Boo! Boo! That's what she calls them. She calls them Boo.
So cute.
Yeah, that was one of my first ones.
Well, you got me beat.
Yeah, she literally had tears in her eyes.
I feel dumb.
Well, mine, I feel like I was telling her it's hard for me to like come up with these because I feel like, unless it's, I do have another one that's kind of more, I guess, like dramatic, but unless it's like, I don't know. I feel like a lot of mine comes from emotional place, like about kids and stuff, because I'm a mom now, so it's hard not to get teared up about that stuff.
That's fair. I feel like that's totally fair. I
want to hear yours now. What's the juxtaposition?
Well, mine is I remembered that the movie Me Before You exists.
Oh, no. That's valid, though. Like, that movie...
Don't mind me. I'm going to stop in the corner for a minute.
Yeah, that movie is intense.
So the reason I thought about it is because I was thinking about a song, and I posted it on my story, and one of my friends was like... I said... My story was... I'm looking for a movie that feels like this song. And it's obviously
beautiful,
a romantic,
like instrumental song.
A very beautiful orchestral, like I'm falling in love with somebody. And I'm sure people that are listening to this know it's that falling in love again and again. And it's somebody made an orchestral remix of it, and another TikToker made like her vocals over it. It was like a whole thing, and it's a beautiful remix. And when you hear it, you're just transcended into another universe. And every time I hear it, I feel like I'm not living in a normal world. So I'm like, I want to read something or watch something that makes me feel like that.
Loverboy, Lovergirl.
Yeah, something that makes me feel like that. And there have been a few books recently that I've read that made me feel like that in that moment. What's it called? The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. There's a moment in that book where I'm like, that's what it feels like. What's the other one? Song of Achilles. Oh my God, Song of Achilles. There's a moment in that book where you're torn apart. It's a build up. It's definitely a huge build up, but man, is it fucking worth it. I would read that one. A little bit tough in the beginning, but when I finished it, I was a mess. I was on the plane reading it, and I was a mess.
Dude, I've done that before where I'm like fucking ugly crying on a plane.
That's what I was. Oh my God, it was 1,000 Boy Kisses was another one that I was reading on the plane. I remember I was reading it in the airport, and a girl came up to me. Also, girlhood. A girl came up to me and goes, "That book ruined me." And I was like, "What?"
Isn't that when you made an embarrassing comment? You're like, "Thanks, you too."
No, that's when I was reading Circe. I was reading Circe. I think that's how you pronounce it. And this lady came up to me. I was reading it because what I like to do when I go to the airport is I like to get there early. And I get there way too early, and I like to go sit at the bar and have a mimosa. And I started that actually after you and I started doing that.
Yeah, it helps me because I get more flight anxiety than Steggy does. I learned that I had to have a mimosa or two before a flight, and I get a little more chill because I'm fine once we're in the air. Usually that's like the crazy turbulence. I don't like that, but taking off and landing is when I get like anxious. So yeah, the mimosa thing is like I taught Segi that.
Right.
Like, yeah, if you're a little nervous.
Well, it was nice though. Like when we went, I thought it was so cozy that we got there so early that we were able to have a mimosa. I think we had a couple.
Yeah, we had at least two.
And because I want to say our flight was maybe delayed too.
Yeah.
And it was just nice. And I was like, you know what? I want to always do this. I always want to get to the airport early. I get there early. All my shit's done. I don't have anxiety. I can sit at the bar. I can read my book. I can have a mimosa. That is awesome. So I was sitting at the bar and I was reading this book, and I want to say it's pronounced Circe. And this lady walked in. She's like, "Great book." And I'm so bad with people talking to me. I have anxiety, and when people talk to me, I speak before I think.
It's like you short out a little. Yeah.
I speak before I think sometimes, and I do that a lot. I word vomit, and you know that. And I was just like, "Oh, thanks." And I was like, it took me like 2 seconds where I was like, "What?"
Like, I didn't write the book.
What I say? I'm not the author. I didn't write this. She's not even giving me a compliment. She's not even saying like, "Oh, good for you for reading that book." She's saying, "Great book," and I'm like, "Thanks." As if I fucking wrote it. And I'm sitting here, by the way, thinking about it for the rest of my life. For sure. I'm going to be on my deathbed
you're going to be like just soundly sleeping one day. Like,
yeah, shudder. No, literally, that's going to haunt me for the rest of my life. I will never live that day down. But no, this was a different time when I was at the airport reading 1,000 Boy Kisses. And a girl came up to me, a woman came up to me, and she goes, that book ruined me. She's like, I was a mess after that book. And I was like, cool, I'm halfway through. And she was like, yeah, you're going to be a mess. And I was like, but it was also like so sweet at the same time, because I think it's so cool when people come up to you and like make a connection with you at any place in life. So I thought it was really cool. And sure enough, I was on the plane. There is an empty seat next to me, and then there's a teenager sitting on the other side. And sure enough, I'm a mess reading this book. This teenager's like, who is this fucking middle-aged woman sitting 2 seats away from me, blubbering? And I'm like, dude, I'm trying to hide it. And I'm like, oh my God, this is so, it was a sweet book. I wouldn't say it was the best book I've ever read, but it was sweet and it made me cry. And it was just like a really nice romantic book.
But that's like the same vibe as the movie that you...
When I tell you that Me Before You fucking ruined my life, and I love that movie so much. I would go so far as to say that it's one of my favorite movies of all time. Will I watch it again? It's really hard for me to get there.
Yeah.
There's so many movies that, like, when I love a movie, I will watch it over and over and over again.
Right.
But that movie made me cry so... It's kind of like P.S. I Love You.
Yeah.
I love that movie.
That movie...
I can't watch it all the time.
I've seen it like 2 or 3 times. And
I've seen it, I think, twice.
Yeah, and it's like... You have to be ready.
Cry a lot,
ready to like cry on and off for that whole entire duration, like dude, 1.5 to 2 hours. When she cries
to the mom, that's when I lose it. When she goes like when she basically says like it's not fair, like I lose my mind. Anytime there's any scene with like a child and a mom,
or like a motherly, fatherly figure,
any sort of parental figure where the kid is essentially reverting back to a childlike state. Because how often in your life have you wanted to like literally just go to your mom and cry about something?
Right.
Because you're like, I'm just a girl.
Yeah. I'm just
a kid
trying to heal my childhood self. Yeah.
Yeah. And that movie always gets me. Me Before You, again, remembered it existed. I didn't even watch it. I just was reminded of it because my friend was like, oh, you should watch this movie. And I'm like, I've already seen it. By the way, I'm going to cry for the next half an hour about
just thinking about it. Yeah.
Just thinking about it. So that was mine.
That's a good one though.
That was my one.
Yeah. The only other one I had was like kind of silly in a way, but it was like the epitome of overstimulated mom. So my husband has been down and out for like a week or so because he hurt his arm at work. It's not like nothing serious. Like he just needed to get a surgery to repair his tendon. So he's fine, but it's going to be a long recovery where he can't lift anything. So having a 1.5-year-old, it just puts all of parenting physically on me. Like, obviously he's still hanging out with us and doing his best, but he can't like help me with her. And like, I can't leave her alone with him because if he needs to pick her up, he can't. So I was overstimulated as fuck. And then I'm rushing. We're trying to have a decent evening at the pumpkin farm. I'm rushing to get us there at a good time because I was also planning on Stephanie coming over that evening so we could hang out and, work on some stuff. So I was like, I've got to get to the pumpkin farm. We had a couple hours there and I'm like trying to whatever. So we throw lunch at my daughter's face, fucking load her in the car as fast as possible, drive to the pumpkin farm, which is like a 25-minute drive at the most. And literally as soon as we pull in and park, she throws up all over herself. And I'm sure it was motion sickness because I have motion sickness and I think she inherited it from me because she was looking at a book. And I think the motion plus just having eaten lunch and the car ride is a little bit longer than she's used to, I think it was just a perfect storm. So she threw up and then I was about to have a meltdown. Roy helped me because he's like, there's no use in like losing it right now because you need to help your daughter. We need to just get this figured out and we're going to go still try to have a fun night. And I was like, I just wanted to have a good day. That's all I was saying. Like as I'm wiping up vomit from everywhere.
I just wanted to have a good day.
Yeah. But it was
I did my best.
Yeah, I did my best. But it was fine. Like after a good solid 10, 15 minutes of wiping everything, she was decent enough and she seemingly felt fine. Like she was fine. But oh man, I almost had a mentee bee from that one.
Yeah. Well, my follow-up is wildly different. I'm going to tell you right now. Mine is a raccoon video.
Oh, yeah. That one's a good one, though.
Mine is a video that I saw on TikTok of a raccoon grabbing food from a food bowl, like a candy bowl, and I think it was a skeleton, like, decoration thing, like, turned on
like
and scared it.
Like
it was a motion sensor one, And it turned on and it scared him, and he got so scared and he knocked all the candy over and he dropped his candy, ran away. That makes me so sad. It's kind of like that one cotton candy video where you see him like.
He was gonna wash. Dude. No, I hate that one.
No, I won't watch it. No. Whenever somebody posts it, I'm like, skip.
No.
What am I supposed to do? And like somebody was like, well, afterwards, I'm like, I don't give a fuck about what happens afterwards. Unless somebody goes up to him and shoves food down his mouth, I don't give a shit.
No,
what do you mean?
That broke me too. Watching him be so excited about his little treat. And then he puts it and then it's gone.
No. It's like when kids prank babies or prank children. Yeah. And they're like, oh, they do this and like, oh, put your cotton candy in this. And like, that to me is not funny. That to me is like traumatizing.
It's cruel.
Yeah. I don't think that like, I would never do that to like, if somebody was like, oh, do it to Evie, it's so funny. I'd be like, no. That's so sad.
Yeah.
Because they can't comprehend a joke from reality.
Wait until they're a teenager. Then you can bully my child as much as they deserve.
100% will bully your kid as soon as she's of age. Yeah. And she can understand it.
Right.
But this, like, until then, that's not funny to me. I'm like, that's actually so sad. Yeah. They don't understand.
I agree.
So I saw that video and I instantly started crying. And I was like, I think I'm going to watch the John Wayne Gacy show that just came out on Peacock. I think I'm going to watch it.
I need to watch some serial killers because this will make me feel better.
It makes me really sad. So... yeah, that was my my cries of the week, your cries of the week. Yep. I do love this segment because I cry all the time.
Oh,
I feel like you cry all the time too.
Daily.
Yeah, we cry all the time.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's a daily thing for most women. And I love that. But I think the main thing that we wanted to get into for today's episode, which I'm super excited about, is we were going to talk about theories. And it's mainly it's based around relationship theories. Yeah. And these are theories that you hear on TikTok, in real life, etc. And I thought it would be a cool idea if I had my theories and Mal had her theories. We didn't go over them before we met today.
No. So if they all
to this day have not, or
if they all end up being the same,
it's because we're the same person.
That's funny.
So no, we haven't shared these with each other yet or anything like that. This was like, we wanted to do our own research. Let's get into it as far as like an authenticity, like whatever. So have a bottle of wine deep. I'm a little bit more than half a bottle of wine.
I am.
And you're drinking.
I'm about a half.
You're drinking like the Black Girl Magic, right? Which you have said is like your favorite.
It's Black Girl Magic's one of my favorite like affordable Rieslings because I don't know. It's so good, but it's like
it doesn't make you.
It
sick.
Doesn't make me feel gross. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I had a Pinot yesterday, and I don't know if it was that bottle was off or that brand is just I don't get Pinot in that brand, but I felt like I only had maybe 2 glasses. I didn't have a lot.
You didn't have a lot
because Roy. I don't know if you knew, but he had some of it.
Oh,
so remember how there's like a little bit left after you poured a little bit more in my glass? He had like a decent sized glass.
Oh.
So I only had like a half, maybe.
Yeah.
And I like did not sleep well. So if I'm a little loopy or lose my train of thought, that's why. Just letting everyone know.
When I record episodes by myself here, I was editing one earlier today, and it was like you see a stretch of time where I yawn and I'm like, I don't remember what I was going to say here. And I have to edit that out, so I have to listen to it all, and I'm just like...
like, shut up.
And sometimes I fumble over words, and I try to say them over again, and you'll hear me get frustrated. I'm like...
I feel like it's harder on your own. Because, like, if we're just conversationally talking, it's kind of more natural.
Right. It's a little bit easier.
We, like, stutter or, like, whatever. It's, like, whatever. It makes more sense than when you're just, like, talking by yourself.
Right. Yeah. I also feel like there's less to think about when there's somebody else here, where it's, like, I'm looking at you or we're talking back and forth, where, like, when I'm here by myself, I'm staring at random shit. I could be thinking about other stuff or whatever, so I'm just, like...
You're not as, like...
I'm not here.
Yeah, you're more in the moment when you're like having to interact with a human than like a microphone. Yeah, I get that.
It's a little rough, but
you're doing a great job, sweetie.
Oh my god!
I'm also holding her hand again.
I'm holding her hand again. It's okay. You're gonna make it. But yeah, hopefully this episode sounds good. I think it's going to sound a lot better than the last couple that we did.
Yeah.
At the very least. And then because of the donations and everything, I'm going to get another mic and we're going to have a whole setup. I'm so excited for it.
Yeah.
It's going to be so cool. And we're going to have guests at some point. I'm so excited for everything. I think it's going to be really fucking cool. And yeah, so let's get right into the theories. Unless you have anything else that you want to talk about. Or anything.
I think we got a good flow going. Yeah. So let's get into it.
Let's do it. I'm so excited too. Okay, so
you're first because I kind of want to see how you're gonna set this up. Yeah,
yeah. So my number one theory is the taxi cab theory.
Okay, I don't have that one.
You don't have that one. Okay, so the taxi cab theory is something that I have heard for a long time now, and the older that I get and the more relationships that I'm in, I do feel like it is true. So the taxi cab light theory is that when a man is finally ready to get in a relationship.
Oh, I think I've heard this one. Yeah.
So when a man is finally ready to get in a relationship, he turns his light on, like the same way that a taxi cab would. He turns his light on, and the first person he picks up is the person that he's going.
That's his fare. Yeah.
He's ready. Yeah. Right. And I think that's so interesting because I so many times have dated somebody, and then the next person that they date is the person that they marry, and it's hilarious to me because I'm
good luck,
oh my
Chuck.
God. Yeah,
good
basically,
luck.
You start, good luck, Chuck.
But what's the girl version of Chuck? Chuckalina.
Chuckalina? I feel like that's literally not it. I feel like it might be anything else. Charlie? Charlie's a girl's name too.
I guess it's Nooch.
Chuckalina?
I don't know.
What is that?
I can't think of any girl names that start with a
Charlotte?
Charlotte.
Good luck, Charlotte.
Anyway.
But yeah, it's something that I've dealt with a lot in my life. Good luck, Chuckalina.
Chuckalina still. Sorry, go ahead.
Imagine if that was my name. No. I
don't know if I'd be friends with you if your name was Chuckalina.
Why? It's so pretty.
I'm sweating. Okay.
It's a pretty name. What do you mean? But yeah, so it's something that I thought about before where I have been in relationships with men before, and after we break up, however much longer, they marry the next person or they marry somebody down the line. And you kind of wonder, are you the issue? And maybe, but also the whole, well, I'm ready now theory, I think really holds up.
I think it's, if you were to tell me that and I had no other preconceptions of what was going on, it kind of sounds to me like you taught them something about themselves because you are a pretty emotionally intelligent person that they have a aha moment and then okay, now I'm ready to settle down.
Yeah.
And it's oh, fuck you. It's you're welcome,
Yeah.
But also that's not a healthy way to go about being in a long-term relationship or a marriage. It's oh, I'm ready. So the first person that shows me a time of day, I'm going to fucking lock down.
Right. That's something that I talked about, I think, very briefly in the last episode, which might not coincide with when we release this one. But I talk about how I essentially teach these people what it means. I communicate effectively. I say things.
Teach them how to communicate.
Yeah, I say all the things and we have those conversations, and then ultimately I decide, no, it's not going to work because you can't do this. And then for the next relationship, they're like, well, I'm going to fix all those things.
I'm going to try to be with somebody. Maybe I'll listen to this girl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think I say something where I'm like, yeah, I fit. Who do you think did that?
Yeah.
That was me.
You're welcome.
You're welcome, by the way. And no, I don't want the person that I had, but the person that you got is somebody different than what I had.
That's true, yeah.
And that's not fair. But at the same time, obviously things happen for a reason. But I do think there is some validity to that because as I am dating as somebody who is 37 years old and talking to men now, I do think that there is a difference between men that are dating just a date and men that are dating to marry. And the ones that have their fucking lights on, you can tell.
It's you can smell it.
You can smell the desperation on them, dude. They want it and they want it now and they are fucking desperate for it. And that's something that in my last relationship and when I talked to my parents about it recently, because I'm a lot more open with my relationship stuff with my parents now. And I have said that I don't I don't ever want to marry somebody because it's convenient, because they can give me kids, because whatever.
Right.
I want to marry somebody because I'm in love with them, and I think that they're awesome. They
add something to your life.
Right. And I have such a cool life, and that's another thing that I talk about on one of the past podcasts is I have this life that is so wonderful. It is so mine. And if you can add to that, great. Let's see what we can do. But if you're not adding anything to it,
or if you're even detracting from it, right? I feel like that's a valid thing that could happen, because if somebody is like sucking the energy from you, or help, or like hindering you enjoying what you already did have, which I feel like some people in your past did, sure. Then it's like you're not adding anything. You're literally taking things away.
You're sucking the life out of me. You're a life ruiner.
Yeah, that's called like an energy vampire or some shit.
Yeah. And that's something that I've actually, when I have done like the healing and the reflecting that I've done, is something that I have looked into, where it's like they see this light in me, or they see this positivity in me, and they're like, well, I'm going to latch onto that because I think that she could add this to my life. And then, sure enough,
but it's not a give and take. It's like they just take.
Yeah, right. take. And then now I'm good and I'm full. I haven't given you anything in return, and now you feel like shit. Right. And now you're acting crazy, aka me. Mm-hmm. I start acting crazy because I'm like, it's not even
where's
crazy.
Mine? Like, give me my serving.
Yeah. How come I don't feel fulfilled? I don't feel any sort of way. Yeah. So I do think that there is some validity to the whole taxi cab light theory, and I think that the older that I get, the more I see it, where I'm like, oh, he wants to get married, and he wants to get married now. And I think the first fucking person that he talks to when most he decides that, because I do think that there are people out there that they're just like, okay, will she give me kids? Will she do this? Will she do that? And I think the same thing with women.
Yeah.
Is he going to do this? Is he going to do that? Etc.
Right.
And it's kind of scary.
Yeah.
And that kind of leads into one of the other theories that I have, but I want to hear about one of yours.
Well, to add to that before I go into my first one, that's kind of wild that you say that, because Roy was never like that.
Yeah,
like,
I can see that.
And this Roy is my husband's name. Like, when we met, we like had a really good connection, and not just a physical way, but like in like the same kind of connection like Steffi and I have. Like, me and him, like, we just had a really good, chemistry friend wise, and like make each other laugh, and enjoyed the same things, and enjoyed, doing everything together. So, but we had like a kind of tumultuous beginning where he wasn't ready, and I kind of wasn't in a lot of ways too, but like, I think he tried. Like, we did break up a couple times. He did try to date a couple people. I did too, but way less so than he did, because I don't really like a lot of people, let's be real.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I'm picky. So yeah, he realized, like, just because at one point we got into our later 20s, I think that was kind of when he realized, like, I know what I want, and I think that this person is Mallory. So it wasn't like he was just, I'm ready now, and whoever I'm dating or whoever I have access to, I'm going to try to date them. It's like he kept thinking about our relationship, and being like, wait a minute, like, I fucked up, and I'm like, yeah, you did, you asshole. But anyway,
but I do think that it varies. I do think that it is different. I don't think that everybody thinks that way.
No, I'm just saying, like, that's interesting, because some guys that marry the wrong person are like what you're talking about.
Yeah.
And then some guys like Roy, his light might have turned on, but it wasn't like the first person that got into, he went back and was like, wait, I want to take that person on a ride again.
Right.
That sounds gross.
Sounds horrifying, by the way. Hate that.
But you know what I'm saying. So yeah, I think that's interesting. But yeah, so the first one that I found that like resonated me was the bird test. Is this one of yours?
Bird test. No, I haven't heard that one.
Okay, so the bird test theory is, say you and your significant other are sitting like at a cute restaurant or cute cafe or something.
Okay.
And you look out a window and you see like this really pretty bird.
Okay.
And you're like, oh my God, babe, look at that bird. Like, how cute is that bird? Or how pretty is that bird? Or whatever. And how your man responds.
Okay, it's kind of like a hobby thing.
It's like a bidding.
It's like
you're a bidding for like
is he
a
going,
connection.
Yeah, is he going, oh my God, how cute?
Right.
Is he going, okay,
whatever,
bird, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah. So that's the bird test theory.
Interesting. Yeah.
I feel like I very highly believe in that one, because there's just something about your significant other that if you know they're gonna last, if not your whole life, for a long time, because they are interested in what you're interested in. Maybe they don't want to do that same thing and that's not like their hobby, but they love that you love that. Mm-hmm. They want you to gush about it. They want to listen to you. They want to, like, if you're just like, look at this funny video, and they like look at it, like, oh my God, that's hilarious. Like, they just put their time and effort into like trying to understand it and be interested in, and like show you that they care, that you're trying to show them something you like.
Right.
And I think that's like a really important. Are you good?
Yeah.
she got something in her hand. She didn't know what to do with it.
Oh, we're just moving something because Dash wanted to be up here.
Oh, hi, Dash. He's a cute kitty. But yeah, he. So I think that just like resonated with me a lot, because I think even like the perfect relationship, sometimes you'll have a moment where you're like, are you even listening to me?
Right.
But I think if that person generally is excited that you like hobby, or wants to hear about your hobby, or is excited about a new venture you do, that's like a good test to know that that person is a good candidate to possibly last a long time, if not a lifetime. So
yeah, no, I love that theory, because I do think that, me personally, when it comes to, I'm a big advocate in that in a relationship, people should have their own hobbies, they should have their own thing. Do whatever you want to do. However, do I need to be involved with it 24/7? No. Should I want to be interested in it? Yeah, I think I should be. I think that there should be a level of interest depending on what it is. Like,
yeah, like when my husband goes off on and on about a tangent about like something construction or something, I'm like, I don't care about that.
Also, it's like, I don't understand.
But like, I'll listen to him.
And I'll listen to you, but I don't really grasp what you're saying.
I just like, that's the furthest interest in my brain.
My dad was like that growing up.
But I will still listen to him, and I'll still be like, oh yeah, I'm glad you figured that out, or oh yeah, that's cool.
Sounds like you solved it.
Right. Good job, babe, you know?
Yeah.
And that's like literally all that's what we ask for, is
right.
Any human wants just like for them to tell something about what they care about, or what they're trying to figure out, or what they're working on, and just be like, oh cool, like that's awesome, good job, or whatever, you know?
Yeah, and I think that like I kind of I'm in the same boat as far as like, if somebody that I am with has a hobby or something that they do and they want to talk to me about it, I think it's really cool when somebody wants to talk to you about the thing that they're super interested in. I think that that's so fun. I'm like, you want to talk to me about this? Right. Yeah, let's talk about it. Like, I want to be involved in it too. Maybe I don't want to do it all the time. Like, you play Magic the Gathering. I probably don't want to play it, but I want to hear about it.
Okay, yeah. Tell me about your cool match you had a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, like, oh, something happened, or this is what happened with this. Tell me about it. And then what? Like, then what happened? I mean, I want to hear about it. I want to be the person that you go to for all the tea.
Right.
Whether it's grades, whether it's piping hot, whether it's cold, I don't care.
Right.
I want to hear about it all.
And we want details.
And I give me everything. Also, like, you lost to who? And give me their name.
Right.
But I
cheaters,
think,
what they are.
But I think that's a great thing that, you know, I agree with that wholeheartedly. I think
that's a very valid theory.
And I feel like I maybe do that already with guys where I'm like, oh yeah, I think this girl's my backyard. What do you think about that?
Yeah, you kind of give them that little test without even realizing you do it. Yeah.
And sometimes they're like, oh, cool. And then sometimes they're like, oh my God, how awesome is that? And then they tell me their own stories about whatever. And I think that's what stays in your mind. Right. So I think that's, I love that theory. Yeah. That's a good one. I don't think I've ever heard of it, but I get it.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah. I like that one too. I thought that was a good one for almost anyone to relate to. So
yeah.
Glad I found it, because I was like, oh yeah, I remember this one. So yeah, your next theory.
So the next theory that I was thinking of is one that I thought of. I don't know if I'm sure there's a name for it, but something that I've kind of dealt with myself as far as like dating people, and something that I've noticed in people and their stories was that everybody that is older, and I don't think this necessarily applies to you and Roy because you guys started getting together very young.
Yeah, we were very young.
But that everybody my age, so our age, 37,
mid-30s, mid to late 30s,
has somebody that got away. Mm. And that you might be the person that they marry, but they have somebody that got away. And I believe that might be true for men. I don't believe that's true for women. And I don't believe that's true for women. Yeah. And I think that because I know for me personally, there's no man that I've ever dated that I went, oh man, he got away. None.
I mean, I can't think of any, so.
Right. So I think that it's more in common in men. And I think this goes along with another theory that I will bring up later. Uh-huh. But I personally believe that if you are in your mid-30s.
Of a certain age.
Yeah, let's say mid to late 30s. I think as a man, you might have somebody that, quote unquote, got away. Yeah. And I think as a woman, it's less likely.
Yeah, I can agree with that. Even, me and my husband's situation was a little different because we met when we were literally babies, 22 years old, barely going out drinking age. You know, we were heavily in the party scene at that point. So we met and we knew there was something, but we weren't ready. And we had a lot of mistakes in the first few years of us knowing each other. A lot of, ups and downs. And we kind of were each other's the one that got away, but we got back to each other, I guess, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So I think that still holds up in that sense. And I know our relationship is kind of unique in a lot of ways, but I think other people probably have had a similar journey. Maybe not as many people, but I don't think it's we're the first ones that ever dated as a young, in a young age and then broke up for a while and then got back together. I feel like that's not a unique experience. So, yeah, I think that holds up whether you don't get back to the one that got away or you do. But I can see what you mean with the woman and man thing, because I would say, like I said, most healthy women would probably be more emotionally intelligent. I know there's emotionally intelligent men, don't get me wrong, but on a generalized
you always have to put that one little
asterisk, because I know there are good men out there and there are emotionally intelligent men out there. Right. I'm not saying there aren't. Right. But I would say generalized, I think most women are just raised to be more emotionally intelligent. That's just how it is, and I hope that slowly evolves over time. But I think that women know, this isn't healthy for me, and I'm ready to leave. Men, however, they might not see a good thing when they have it.
Yeah.
And they're I just want to see what else is out there, you know?
That kind of goes back into, and I guess I'll just mention it now, to the whole men versus women when it comes to cheating. Mm. And you and I have talked about this before, mm-hmm. where when it comes to men cheating, almost in every instance that you and I know about firsthand, it's mm-hmm. always a shinier thing, right? It's always the guy going after something or somebody that is shinier, and quote unquote shinier in an aspect of she pays a little bit more attention to me, or she's prettier, she's younger, she's quote unquote just different.
Yeah.
Whereas when a woman cheats, I don't know any woman that has cheated on her significant other. I
have known a few women that have kissed another man.
Yeah.
But it was a drunken bar thing.
Right.
But I don't really even count that fully as cheating.
Right. I'm thinking more you've slept or had an affair.
Right. You know this person.
People. Yeah.
You've hung out with them.
Right.
You've maybe slept with them.
Right.
You have emotional connection with them.
Yeah.
I've known girls that they're drunk at a bar, their boyfriend pisses them off, and they go kiss someone in the corner for a hot second. That's the extent.
Not me, by the way.
And and when that happened, we were also young, early to mid 20s, so minimum 10 years ago. But yeah, for the most part, I don't know anyone or any woman that has cheated.
Right.
Well, there is that one, but that was weird. I'll tell you about that in a minute. I can't say names, so I can't bring it up because it's very obvious if I'm talking about that person. But that was a weird situation. But besides that one person, I can't think of any woman that's cheated on her significant other.
Right. Well, and I think that it's so funny because I think that that's the whole one that got away. That kind of dives into the whole. Women, I think, cheat because of the emotional.
But that's the thing. You were going to say that the men or women cheat because the men might not be doing it for them. Or there's something wrong with the dude.
Right. I do think that there's a difference in why people cheat, men versus women. And again, not to say that this is on a broad scale. There's obviously exceptions. And also, I'm a nobody. This is just my fucking theory, so shut up.
Yeah, we're just talking.
Enough. But my theory is that men will cheat on women because they see something shinier, they see something younger, something hotter, something new. And I think that women will cheat because they are so unsatisfied, not sexually, but emotionally.
Right.
I think that they're so not taken care of in multiple ways that when a man walks away from a relationship and it's a cheating thing, it's almost like a cop-out. Mm-hmm. It's almost like, I needed a way to get out of this, and this is the only thing I could think of. When a woman walks away from a relationship, so when a guy tells me, my ex, she broke up with me, I'm like, why?
Yeah, what'd you do?
Yeah, why did she break up with you? It's not, why did you break up with her? It's me going, why'd she break up with you? What did you do? Mm-hmm. Because me being a woman that has dated men that don't really necessarily deserve me, I have always felt very like, he's a good guy though. He's a nice guy though. Or he does this or he does that. I'm going to stick around as long as I can until it gets to the point where I'm like, oh my God, I can't do this anymore.
Right.
And I think men don't have that same I'm going to stick around mentality that women do. So I think women hold on to a mediocre man and men will hold on to a phenomenal fucking woman.
Yeah.
So I think that when a woman lets go of a mediocre man, that mediocre man is now out in the field. What did you do that's so fucking mediocre that somebody let you go?
Yeah.
That somebody tossed you back out?
Yeah.
Because I'm going to tell you right now, there's never been a man that I have tossed back out that I've ever regretted for a second.
Right.
So that's my theory behind it.
Yeah.
Is that when somebody says, oh, I don't have somebody that got away, or I do have somebody that got away, I feel like it's always a man. I feel like it's always geared towards a dude that says, yes, she got away. She was the one that got away. I've never heard a girl our age say that. I have heard men say that.
Yeah. No,
never my age.
I fully can agree with that.
Yeah.
Theory,
sure. Any girl that has, any of my girlfriends that I know that have wanted a man have locked him the fuck down. My guy friends, on the other hand, have never locked down.
Yeah, the ones that...
Aside from Roy.
Yeah.
Like, aside from Roy, none of my guy friends that I've talked to about she's the one that got away have ever locked her down.
Yeah.
And it's a scary thing from a single woman's perspective where I'm like, am I going to be the follow-up to that? Are you just using me to fill the void of the one that got away?
Yeah.
You know?
Maybe that's a good question to ask on your dating profile. Do you have a one that got away?
And would they ever admit it?
Yeah,
no.
That's true.
Right. But I think...
Knife to the throat.
Do
you have someone?
But I do think my thing when it comes to that is, how in touch are you with your exes? Why did you and your ex break up?
Yeah.
And I take notes of that now. It's not something that I ever did before my last relationship, where when he told me something, I was like, I'm going to take notes of that. And then it added up.
Yeah.
It was something sense. That I took it into consideration at a later date. And I was like, no, now that I'm piecing everything together, I get it now.
Yeah.
And I had never really thought about that before, where when I talk to guys about, because anytime I talk to guys now, if they were to tell me, like, or ask me why I broke up with somebody or why they broke up with me, I'm always transparent. And that's what I try to tell guys nowadays. I mean, I'm talking to somebody right now and I'm like, straight up with them. Like, I'm going to tell you everything.
Right.
There's no part of me that's going to hold back. And that's something that I've learned definitely as I've gotten older, is that I'm not going to hold back on how I feel, because you deserve to know that.
And also, if someone has a problem with you telling someone, like telling that person how you feel in that moment, whether it has to do with them or not, or communicating with them like, oh, I might act this way because of a past trauma or whatever. If someone has a problem with that, that's a problem for them, not a problem because of you. Like, that makes sense that, yeah, okay, no wonder you had one that got away or whatever if you're going to be like that.
Right. No, and it's something that I've grown to appreciate about myself, is that, like, and I feel like you've had a lot to do with that, where I'm like, no, I'm going to be more out front and I'm going to be more honest about it, because I deserve that and you deserve that. Like,
and also it's something that you like to do and you feel better doing. And if someone really cares about you and wants to make you feel comfortable, that should be fine.
Right.
Like,
right.
You should be able to be who you need to be and who you are as a core person around the person you might spend the rest of your life with.
Right. And I think that's something that, like, whenever I talk to guys, I just, like, the first thing I want to do when it comes to dating is I want to tell guys, like, I don't have guy friends, first of all. My only guy friends are
married or
are married. Yeah. Married around here or in very, very serious relationships or live thousands of miles away from me.
Across the country.
And I'm also talking to them about their dating lives and I'm trying to help navigate their dating lives for them. So there's no threat there. And also, I don't have a one that got away. You don't have to worry about access with me. I don't talk to any of them. I don't need to, except for one that I talked to when I dated 20 years ago.
When you were a teenager,
yeah. That's the only one. But other than that, you don't have to worry about him. He's good. He's a sweet boy.
Yeah.
I promise. But it's something that I want to say to them right off the bat, this is how I am. But I feel like nobody ever asks, nobody ever cares. And it's just like, why don't you care? I care. I care about who you talk to.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a weird thing, but...
probably men don't want to admit
what
they care about or what.
I think it's a weird thing. Like, and we talked about it the last time where it's like women that just have guy friends, and I'm like, I also think the like inverse is weird too. If a guy only has girlfriends, I think that's fucking weird too.
Yeah.
Why don't you have guy friends?
Yeah, that is.
Why don't your guy friends want to talk to you or hang out with you?
Yeah, what's wrong with you?
What's the deal here?
Yeah. I agree.
The answer better be fucking I'm borderline gay. And then yeah, I'll want to date you more.
Then I might want to marry you.
I'll be like, you know what? Let's get married right now. But yeah, so that was my one that got away theory mixed in with the cheater theory.
Yeah. Okay, that was a good one. My next one is, I don't know how much it applies to me personally. I mean, it does a little bit, but I feel like it would resonate with you really well. So I heard it because I was searching up different theories, and I'm like, I think this like would speak to Steggy. It's called the mirror. Oh my god, a bottle of wine in. No, just kidding. I'm not fully a bottle of wine. Mirror, window, door theory. Mm-hmm. So this
that's like a new one.
So like 3 different people that come into your life, or 3 different types of relationships that come to your life.
I love those when it's a multi-relationship one. I love them.
So the mirror, which I feel like you've had a lot of, are the people that are going to show you the parts about yourself that you still need to heal.
Yeah.
So if you have trust issues, whether that be from childhood or past relationships, these people are going to trigger that.
Okay.
And show you like, oh my God, I still have this like huge thing to heal, and this person isn't the person that's going to help me get to that point of feeling secure.
Okay.
So the mirror is kind of just showing you, like I said, the parts of yourself that you still want to fix, that you don't want to see in future people. So bye mirror.
Bye mirror.
Yeah, bye. And next one is window. So the window is the type of relationship that you get glimpses into the person in the life you want to have.
Okay.
So you could see like, okay, this type of person, this type of relationship,
okay,
is like, I can kind of see it. Like I can kind of see how my future, like how I want.
I could see it panning out,
right? Yeah. Or I could see like how I want. Like this person's like kind of showing me, okay, I know what I want. I can see it in the future.
Okay.
But this person isn't your person.
Yeah.
There's like just something that isn't vibing, whether it be chemistry or just like they don't have morals. They don't have the full package, I guess.
Interesting.
And then door is when the opportunity that you've been really waiting for is there, and you are there to you're ready to open it, and the only way it'll open is if you've fully like healed from everything else.
Interesting.
So I thought that was cool.
I've never heard that before.
Yeah, I came across it and I was like, I feel like that's a really good one for, I feel like this whole podcast in a way, like how a lot of the topics you want to talk about. So,
I feel like I've dated a lot of the mirrors, and I feel like my last relationship was it's window, mirror, door, right?
Mirror, window, door.
Mirror,
You've
window,
dated
door.
a lot of
mirrors, and I feel like my last one was a window.
That's why I thought about you, because I was like, you had that this person kind of checked a lot of boxes that you like got excited about, and then you maybe overlooked a few things in the beginning,
right?
But then you realize this isn't my person,
right?
And now you're like, maybe you need a couple more windows, but you're pretty ready for a door,
right? You know? I'm like, I think I know what a door looks like now. Yeah, where it's like I saw the mirror or I saw the window. And it was great.
It was a good glimpse.
But that's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for a door.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a really good... I've never heard that one before. Yeah. That's super new to me.
Yeah, that was pretty new to me, too. I just, like, came across it and I was searching things up. And I was like, wait.
That is so interesting. Because, I've dated a lot of people that I think... I completely agree with that. Where, like, I feel like my insecurities or my whatever was resonated with them and... was in them as well,
right? And like almost reaffirmed, like, wow, the past people have fucked me up, and I'm still feeling that.
Yeah. That's the window one is like crazy.
Yeah, that's why. That's why. Like, whoa,
right? Yeah. And I was blinded by maybe
the glare of the window.
Exactly. That's what it was. It was the intent.
Yeah,
and that's what I talked about on that last podcast. Was it was the intention behind his dating,
right?
He was very intentional in his dating. He wanted a wife. He wanted children. He wanted a house. He wanted all these things that I wanted also.
He wanted the future you saw for yourself.
Which was so hard to find in other people.
Right.
That was a hard thing to find in dating apps, in anybody that I was dating. It was somebody that said, this is what I want. So when I saw that in my ex, I was like, this might be the person. Right. And I remember talking about that, like, holy shit, this might be it. And that blinded me to all the other things that I was like, oh, wait, but you're not this, you're not that, you're this, you're this. Right. You're actually not. The only thing that we have in common is that we have this same vision for our future,
that's the difference between a window and a door. You can't go through a window. Right. I mean, you can, but it's not very safe, right?
It's going to be difficult.
Yeah. It's not safe. You could fall. You could hurt yourself.
Yeah.
But a door, you can open and you can step outside. You can see the whole picture.
Yes.
The window, you just see a glimpse of it, and you might not see the whole peripheral of what could happen.
And that's exactly what it was, is that I looked up the window and I was like, that looks like it could be it. Yeah. And then I was like, wait a minute, that looks like it's gonna fucking hurt.
Yeah. Like, this isn't the right whole picture.
Yeah. No, so I completely, that's a really good one. I'm really glad I remember that point. That was good.
Good, yeah.
Yeah, I think other than that, I have two more. The only other one that I think is a interesting one, because we've talked about the invisible string theory or whatever. I think that is maybe one we can talk about a different day.
Yeah, it's like a whole
That's
thing.
Like a whole different thing. But one that I saw was like the 3-month theory, which don't talk about somebody. I almost kind of coincides with pregnancy, where you don't talk about pregnancy for a certain amount of time.
Right, until your first trimester is over.
X amount of, which is 3 months, right? Mm-hmm. It's kind of the same. They talk about that with relationships too, where like the first 3 months is when you're getting to know somebody. You're trying to figure out if they, go with your life and everything. Right. Don't talk about them until 3 months, otherwise you jinx it. Yeah, I felt that. I feel that.
Yeah, no, it makes sense. I mean, I think that's a good comparison, because with pregnancy, you don't want to talk about it because there's just such a high chance of things going wrong.
Yeah.
And that's kind of true in a new relationship too. Like, you're just getting to know somebody. Everything's so new. You don't really know what to expect. You don't know what could happen.
It's a jinx.
Right. You don't want to jinx it. You don't want to get too excited about it, because it's like, is this going to actually last?
Well, because then you feel stupid. Yeah. Which is something that I felt many a times, where I'm just like, I don't want to introduce anybody to him, because in 3 weeks when we break up, then I'm going to feel dumb. Yeah. And then everybody's going to go, what happened to so-and-so? And I'm going to go, well.
But at the same time, you shouldn't feel dumb.
Right.
I get what you're saying, and I totally understand that, but I don't know. I feel like if he's not the right person, they're not the right person.
Right.
Like, bye.
See you later.
Yeah, you don't need that shit in your life. So it's definitely different to a pregnancy, but that's like the sentiment behind it,
right?
For sure.
Yeah. So that's that one. That's the whole 3-month rule thing, and I don't know. I get it, and I try to abide by that, but at the same time, I'm like, once I go on a couple dates, I'm like, well, Maybe it's gonna go somewhere.
No, and I feel like you've been pretty good. Like
I have been really good.
I know you talk to people that you don't immediately tell me you're talking to somebody.
Yeah, no.
Like you wait a few days, you wait a few weeks.
I wait a while. Because I'm like, man.
And then like maybe you mention them, but you don't like go into detail. And so
it's not interesting yet.
And so you meet them.
Yeah.
And even then, like I know enough about dating at this point in our lives. Like I don't know from personally, but I know, from friends that I'm not gonna jump on one bandwagon or the other. I'm going to listen to my friend, hype them up, help them when they need it. But as soon as they're like, I don't know this guy, I'm like, I don't think it's the guy either. Bye.
He sucks. You're right. This guy is the worst. Fuck that guy.
I feel like the next, are we done with this theory?
Huh?
Are we done with this theory?
What theory? This one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I feel like my next one kind of like really like coincides.
Okay.
So I feel like this is a good transition.
Okay.
The next one, I feel like the last one, because I have another one, but I feel like that one's kind of deep, and I don't want to get into that right now. But the next one that kind of coincides with the 3-month theory is build it or bail on it theory. So this theory is basically your perfect person isn't perfect in every way. No person is perfect, right?
Sure.
You're not perfect. I'm not perfect. Our significant others, whether they are here or not, aren't perfect. But you're going to always have to build something with that person. And, you have to figure out their, I want to say like failures, like their personality flaws or their things that you might not totally understand or might not totally vibe with. You have to figure that out. You're going to have to build something with them. You're going to have to like look past little things here and there, but they could still be your perfect person. But the build it or bail on it is, are you going to stick around and actually do that, or are you going to bail? And I feel like a lot of people our age or even older, they have a lot of hard time finding their person, especially men. I feel like this is like a very big man thing. I feel like there's like this illusion of infinite choices out there.
For sure.
Right.
For sure.
So men,
especially with the dating apps. Yeah.
So I feel like men, particularly, I'm sure some women do it too, but I feel like men particularly, like, this girl, her hair's kind of weird, or she smiles weird, or she burped in front of me one time. I think there's someone better out there for me. Right. And they just go on the apps because they think there's like this infinite choice of perfect people for them.
Right.
Or someone more perfect than the person they're with at the time, that they don't choose to build on something that has just started cooking,
I do think that dating apps have made it very hard for people to not immediately lose interest in somebody because they think, well, I'll just find somebody else.
Yeah.
I think that's a very hard thing. So I think that if our parents, that generation, had the opportunity to just swipe through, I think that they would have done the same thing.
Yeah.
So I think it's hard. Nature. It's hard. Yeah. To not go, well, that person was kind of weird, I'll just keep swiping.
It's also a lot of the times before you actually meet the person that you're talking to.
Right.
It's like hard to actually put that text message or whatever to a human. It's like you don't fully envision this is a human being with all the goods and bads about them. It's like they're just what they're sending to me, or they're just what their profile is. It's like you don't have the full picture.
Right. You don't know who this person is. Right. It's just like this facade of what they're putting on this profile, and
whether it be they're better than that or worse than that, you don't know.
Right. And I feel like a lot of people really oversell themselves, men. I feel like really, I don't know what the man side of dating apps is like. I know my side, and I know that every time I've shown up to a date, I've never gone, wow, he looks better than his photos. Never in my life have I ever gone, he looks better than his photos. And let me tell you right now, I do. I undersell myself. And I actually said that to somebody earlier today where I was like, no, I undersell myself because I want to look better in person for you.
Yeah.
If you can, if you are swiping right on that, you're swiping right on
just
good
wait.
Shit. Just wait until you see me in person. Though.
Right.
But I agree with that. I think that there is validity to that where I think there are so many choices out there, and I think it's so easy to scroll on to the next one. And I know that I've asked guys before when it comes to Tinder or any of these apps where they just go, yeah, we just swipe right until we get a match. I'm like, so you're not even looking at their profiles? So you don't get to call me shallow.
Right.
You don't get to call me a gold digger. You don't get to call me shit. Because all you're doing is you're swiping on every single fucking person.
Right.
And the one that sticks is the one that you're messaging.
Yeah.
So fuck you.
Yeah, that's like almost worse than being too
picky.
It is
worse. It's worse.
It's like you're basically just a hoe.
Well, and that's my whole thing that goes back to I never want to date somebody to fill a void. I'd never want to date somebody to be a body in their life and be...
Just to have somebody in your house.
Well, I just want to date somebody. I want a wife. I want kids. I want this. I never want to be that. No, I want to date somebody that goes, I want to date Stephanie because I'm crazy about her.
Awesome. Yeah.
She's cool as shit. We like the same things. We like this. We get along on all these other things. That's great. And I'm crazy about her. And I want to be the same way about that person. So I think that if you don't have that, I don't want it.
Yeah.
And I'm okay with that. Like, and I mentioned that in one of the last episodes where if I spend the rest of my life alone without somebody like that, I'm okay with that. Knowing that the alternative would have been spending my life with somebody that I was just there to fill a gap. Right. I was just there to have kids with. I was just there for whatever. It's like...
Yeah. That sounds like...
That's fucking weird.
That sounds sad.
It's like... It's sad and it's almost like... There's something about it that feels almost perverted.
Yeah.
I don't know how else to say it, but it feels fucking perverted.
Well, it feels like you're being used.
Yes, yeah. Use is a good way to put it.
I'm just using you to do something for me.
I'm a vessel.
Yeah.
I'm just a host for you to have children with.
Yeah.
And I don't like that. And that's how I felt like in my last relationship when we had that conversation. And I was like, no, And then he called me selfish because I was like, yeah, I'm with you because I think you're a kind person. You're nice to me. And he was like, well, that's selfish. I'm like, you know what's fucking selfish? Saying that you want to date me because I can have your baby.
Right. You just want to
That's fucking selfish.
Me?
Yeah.
Like,
that's
what?
Crazy.
Yeah.
You're like a sci-fi movie. Shut the fuck up.
Are we in an episode of Black Mirror? What's happening?
No. So I think that there is for sure a lot of validity to that where I think that it's so easy to just swipe. And I get it to an extent.
Yeah.
For me personally, and I've told you this before, when it comes to somebody that I'm going to marry, somebody that I want to be with, I don't think it's hard. I don't think that finding somebody is hard. I think finding somebody that wants to be with me is what's hard. Because I think I could make it work with anybody who's nice to me.
Right. Anyone that's
like, if you're nice, considerate. Yeah. Considerate is at the top of my list, especially after the last one.
Right.
If you are considerate and you make me feel safe around you and you make me feel like I can be my full self, if you can make me feel the way that you make me feel,
right?
Like Mel, like as a person,
right.
You make me feel safe. I can be my fucking weirdest self around you. I can be cool. I can be weird. I can be
sad,
judgmental. I can be sad. I can be happy. I can brag about my wins. I can cry about my losses. If I can do that around somebody, great.
Right.
I can make it work.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit what you look like. I don't give a shit how tall you are, how short you are.
I
don't care about anything. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. If we can make it work. But if at the bare fucking minimum, I can't feel safe around you,
then it's the bail.
That's crazy.
Then it's the bail on it. Yeah.
And I think that's a bare minimum for a lot of women. Where I think for men, it's different.
Yeah.
I think it's who can have my kids? Who's hot? Who's going to look good on my...
Who makes my life feel like an adventure?
Yeah, and also who's going to fill the voids in my life.
Yeah.
Which is something that I also talked about before, where I don't want to fill a void in your life. I want your life to be fulfilled. Because mine is.
Right.
My life's awesome, and I want you to be a part of it. But there's no void in my life that I'm like, well, it's because I'm missing a guy, and I want you to be a part of it. No, because in that case, I would date anybody. Right. I don't want to date anybody.
Right.
I want to make sure that
I want to date the right somebody.
I want to date you.
Yeah.
And like that's, I want the same thing from a guy.
Yeah.
I want him to go, I'm not dating anybody, I'm dating her.
Right.
And I'm so happy that I'm taking her.
I was cool being single, but I found someone.
But she's
that's
cool as
worth
shit.
It. Yeah.
Yeah, because that's how I would feel about them. Yeah. Like, he's cool as shit, and I want to take him everywhere because I think you guys would really like him.
Yeah.
You know, and that's all I want in return.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Makes sense to me. I don't know why it doesn't resonate with some people.
Because people are stupid. But anyways, those are our theories. I think that we had some good ones.
Yeah.
And I think that maybe we'll do another segment of this for sure.
Yeah.
I think we can come up with some other ones.
Yeah, and we could even do like friendship theories or like...
Right. I actually have some good like red flags.
I saw a couple of those. Yeah. And maybe other theories like necessarily like friendship or relationship, but like I'm sure there's like sibling theory or
I think there's a ton of them that we can come up with, especially from TikTok. It's just endless content.
Right. True.
But I think we've wrapped up everything we wanted to talk about.
Yeah, I think we've covered our topics on hand.
Yeah, so I think we're going to lay that one to rest.
I think so.
All right. Well, cheers, everybody. We appreciate you guys being here tonight. Cheers, Mel.
Cheers.
Cheers, everybody. Actually, you know what? All right, I want to take a moment to send a heartfelt thanks to everyone that has donated and shown us just such incredible support. Your encouragement has been both motivating and just extremely instrumental in helping us bring this super fun dream and adventure to life. And we're just so excited and beyond excited, actually, to start the journey. So a few special thank yous to Samantha, Chiblet, Darth Silent Bob, Dave M., Jess Bagel, who has a health and wellness journal available now at colorcodedcookie.com, Katie Edward, who wrote Call on Me and is one of the few books that I've actually finished and loved and read and everything in the last year and a half, Dustin, aka Wicked Warrior, your face and body painting skills never failed to amaze me, dude. You're doing incredible. Our beautiful friends, Gloria and Joanna, Tim, Mauricio Ormachea, Greg, Squeegee, my friend Jason Abadi. Thank you for validating my thoughts while I navigate dating men. I appreciate you always listening to me yap. My Lavender in Life, Oz, who helped keep me grounded during one of the harder times in my life. To my wonderful family, my Uncle Chris and his wife Letty, my incredible cousins, Eric and Chingona. You guys are always cheering me on. My parents, Mallory's husband, Roy, who I also consider to be my family. Your unwavering support just absolutely means the world to us. And then finally to Mallory, you listened to me talk about a dream out loud, about starting a podcast. And not only did you encourage me to take the leap, but you took it with me. And I mean, you're my best friend and I love you. And I couldn't imagine doing this with anybody else. So thank you guys again for listening, for being here, for supporting us and encouraging us. And we will catch you on the next one.